Arizona, good weather, all that. I think it just fit. It made a lot of sense to be able to do that.
You know, look, you can run anything anywhere in the world that you wanted to with the name recognition and the proven track record. I'm sure just about anybody would put you in their car. What is it about sprint car racing that keeps drawing you back to the cockpit?
Well, it's really where I learned how to race, and where I've just always had such a passion for sprint car racing. Growing up around it, and then getting in sprint cars initially, and racing in the Midwest after I graduated high school. It was something that I loved doing, and I've never been able to really run that full season of sprint cars. We had midgets in there, and we had was always mixing it up a little bit. But my World of Outlaw teams do get to, and I stay really close with those guys and support them as much as I can. And we have 3 great teams, and so I wanted to get back in some of the equipment that we have. The guys have worked hard to make it better, improve it over the years, and I feel like it's really good right now, and it'll be a lot of fun to race.
I know from the fans' perspective, what I love about sprint car racing, what is it from the driver's side that really ignites the passion for you about this type of car?
Well, I think it's intense. It's very close action. The cars accelerate. They're still pulling when you get to the corner, really hard. And there's a lot going on, a lot thrown at you, quickly. So I just feel like it's super intense, and it's just a little bit different than the stock car stuff I do each week, and it's fun to get back in there and kind of sharpen your skills and enjoy yourself.
You realize the entire time we've been talking about this, and you driving that, you've been grinning from ear to ear. So it really does resonate with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And it's I've been looking forward to it for a while. I wanted to race last season, wasn't able to. Haven't raced a sprint car since May of 2012, and so it's something that I've really wanted to do for a while, and it just keeps building up, and finally, we get to. And it also makes a lot of sense because there's 5 races in 8 days, so it's, I can go out there, practice, get better and better, and hopefully by the last 2-3 nights I'll actually be back to where I need to be and can be pretty competitive.
Do you think it will make you a better stock car driver or prepare you even more for Daytona or the season ahead?
Well, I don't think it necessarily prepares me for Daytona, but I always felt when I did race sprint cars more, at Evernham Motorsports, I still raced sprint car a good bit. I felt like it never hurt me. If anything, it always helped, kept me sharp, kept me, on top of my game, and, so I feel like it's always helped me a little bit in certain ways.
So in the back of your mind, in some ways, was this something you felt you wanted to do to maybe really launch your 2015 NASCAR season as well?
Well, I felt like 2014 was a tough year. From my side, from the team side, we just didn't do everything we needed to run as strong as we needed to. And I feel like these races will kind of propel me into 15 and make me more aggressive, more intense, and more prepared and ready to go when 2015 starts. So, yeah, I think this is going to help me some to go race my sprint car and then focus totally on the Sprint Cup Series and the 5-car.
So maybe just like baseball players go to Arizona for a little spring training, now we're going to see some of the old sprint car drivers that are running NASCAR do the same thing?
You never know. I think this first year of the winter heat is going to be pretty neat. I think a lot of people are going to show up. It could grow into something bigger and better each year, and it'd be somewhere that we could all go race when we want.
Does anybody think you're nuts for doing this?
I'd imagine there's some. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'd imagine there's some people that may think that, but I put a lot of effort into this, and I just have always really enjoyed it. Our teams are strong, and we have the best sprint cars and safest sprint cars that there are, so, I look forward to it.
You said you obviously were able to convince Ray Evernham to allow you to do it. How tough was it to convince Mr. Hendrick to allow you to come do this?
It was tough. When the first season racing for him, it was, I raced, I think, 6 or 7 times early in 2012. and then kind of backed off and hadn't raced a sprint car since. He didn't want me to, and I've listened to him on that, and finally this off season I kept asking, and finally he said I could as long as it was during the off season. So it was nice to hear that. It got me pretty excited, and we've been working on the car since.
So tell me a little bit about the car. What are you taking out to Arizona with you? So
basically, this will be what Darren Pittman's car looks like next season. It's a great clip. It's all 2015 stuff, and we'll run it similar to how they raced at the end of the year. I think the 9 car was as good as any sprint car in the country at the end of the season, and that's how we're going to start. That's how we're going to try to race throughout the 5 nights, to stay real similar to the way that Darren and my brother do it, and hopefully it'll have some success for us.
You guys have worked hard over here on the marketing side to put a lot of big stickers on these things. Tell me a little bit about the sponsorship packages you have.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it takes a lot of work. Everybody here at KKR does a great job with it. Great Clips has been a huge supporter of ours. SurePoint has, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, Sage Fruit, Team ASC, they've all been partners of ours for a while. And we've been able to win a lot of races with those guys, and they come to the track, come and support our teams. And myself and Mike Kerr Records, we've really enjoyed the partnerships with them. So it's a lot of fun. It's tough to keep it all going, but when we do, it makes for a pretty good time.
What can we expect out of KKR going into 2015? What's the team going to look like?
Well, we've fairly similar to the end of last year. We made some gains, so there's a few different things going on for next season with competitive engines. We've changed our engines around, and the cars are pretty similar. But mainly, it'll be Brad Sweet and Darren Pittman full-time, and then Cody Darrell will run a part-time schedule. We're going to run him as much as we can, definitely in all the big races, and just kind of see where it goes. But I think we're going to have 3 really strong teams throughout the season.
How tough is it to be a team owner in the sprint car race? You got a big operation going around here. There's a lot of chassis over here. Obviously, it takes a lot of money. Does it work as a business right now? I mean, obviously, NASCAR works very well. Is sprint car racing working?
Well, I think that it's, NASCAR works great for me being a driver. The owning side is such a different just such a different deal. But as far as our sprint car teams go, our drivers do the best job they can to take care of the equipment, bring the cars home in one piece. We spend as much money as we need to be very competitive and have the best stuff on the track, but we don't go overboard there. And we have some great partners that support us. So it works for us. It works for myself. I enjoy it. It's a huge passion of mine, and we have 10 employees and 3 drivers.
As you look at your own career, you've had all this success, and it began with the dirt. Are you doing this to give back to the sport? Is this because you're just passionate about it, or is it kind of a fun way for you to be passionate and give back?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I've always been really into short track racing, grassroots racing, and the places that I learned how to race and the things that propelled me to the Sprint Cup Series. So I've been a big supporter of that, but at the same time, I enjoy it. I sit in my bus on Friday night and Saturday night before the Cup races or before Cup practice and follow the guys, whether it's on video or just on radio, just on dirt vision on the radio there, and listen to what they're doing and follow lap times. So it's a lot of fun for me, and it kind of keeps me going throughout the season to not just be totally in stock car land. I can also do a lot with the sprint cars, and then it's also giving back. Like I said, we have a lot of great employees, drivers, and people that make this place go.
Where do you see this facility going? How big can it get? How much will you do out of here? Are there any other forms of racing that you're going to branch off into, or more sprint car teams?
I really like what we have going on now with the 3 teams, 3 drivers. We got into, you know, midget, sprint cars, Silver Crown, a lot of the USAC things for a while also, and I like wing sprint cars the best. You know, that's where I feel I have the most fun, and we can keep it here in Charlotte that way. The USAC stuff was always in Indy, so it was a ways away from me, and I like being a part of it. So I feel like what we have right now, if we can keep 3 teams going, is perfect for me. I can enjoy it. We can put the best stuff on the racetrack, have